Like you'd date an obese guy?
No.
No?
If you don't, I would not date an obese guy.
Because of how it looks?
No, because it's just like there's it's kind of haram in my religion to be obese because it's like you have to love
Take care of your body,
take care of your body, take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you're naturally just a chubby person, that's fine. But if you're obese, that's another thing. That's another thing.
Okay. Have you ever known a girl who... You've maybe heard of this phenomenon of like a good-looking girl who's dating like a guy who's kind of mid.
Yeah, an ugly guy.
That's fine.
But why are you able to make a determination as to a guy's physical appearance, but you can't make a determination as to women's physical appearance?
Because I see women differently than I see men.
Why? How do you see women differently than you see men?
I don't look at women's physicality.
So you
and
objectify
men's
men, but you don't objectify.
I
women.
never objectified a man.
Isn't that exactly what you're doing?
What am I doing?
You're objectifying
I
them
never
based
said.
on their appearance.
What did I say? That was objectifying the man off his appearance.
You said, I don't treat women X way, but
No,
I do
I
treat men this way.
Women how she views men.
yeah.
When she looks at a woman,
treat.
she notices her beauty.
Okay, then
versus
disregard
a
the
man.
objectify comment. How are you able to make determinations as to physical appearance when it comes to men, but not women?
Because I see women differently.
How do you see them
I
differently?
I don't see her as someone I'm going to marry. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I'm not.
So
lesbian.
even if people your own sex, you can't make any determinations as to somebody's like, maybe you can't
It's just
precisely.
not as serious to me when it comes to a woman. I just appreciate her beauty. I'm not going to sit here and really examine her because she's not someone I'm going to have kids with. I'm not
So
gay.
if you were a talent agent for a modeling agency and knowing that modeling, typically, not always, but typically tends to prefer to have people who are physically attractive and good looking, you would just be incapable.
I've seen a lot of
let me
Asian
finish.
models that
You
are
would just be incapable of making any determinations as to women's physical appearance.
I actually disagree with you. Modeling agencies
What do you disagree?
Modeling
What does
agencies
that have
look for
anything-
different people that look different. You don't have to be physically attractive. If you look different, they want you. You don't have to be beautiful. You could look so crazy to other people, and everyone could bully you and say that you're ugly as hell your whole time.
It's
but you got signed.
2005, and it's
got
fucking.
signed.
You work for Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever the
They're
fuck that
racist.
company
I don't even
was.
debunk them.
Who cares? You work for that company. It's 2005, before all this woke bullshit about like putting obese models out there. So, okay. So you're the talent scout for this company, and your job is to find attractive people. You would be incapable of making determinations
No, I
as to a
am.
woman's physical
I am.
appearance.
I am.
Okay. So then how is it that you view men and women differently in this regard?
I'm just saying that, like, with a woman's beauty, it's just more, it's just different. Women have more beauty in this life than a man. Like, there's more attractive women than attractive men, in my personal opinion. Like, that's what I believe.
It's like the body, it's the face.
There's
the
more
features.
to notice about a woman in check mark versus a man. It's
What
like
does
a
that
woman has
have
way
to
more
do with
detail.
it?
A man
It
can
has a
be
lot to do with it because
scrawny
her
and
body,
skinny.
her
He can
physicality is
have the
completely
most beautiful
different
girl.
than a man's physicality.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's
He
not
doesn't
making
have
sense?
to be fit. He doesn't have to be fit to have a beautiful
Okay,
girl.
so just to be clear, all women should view themselves as 10s, but not all men should view themselves as 10s?
I didn't say that. The men should men
Even a
and
guy-
women should
so-
see
so a guy
themselves
who's
for
mid,
what they truly
should
believe.
Should a guy who is mid think he's a 10?
Guys who are mid do think they're 10s.
No, that's not the question. Should they think they're 10?
They already do, so it
No,
doesn't
they
make a
don't.
difference what I say.
No, they don't.
They do.
Wait, do you guys agree?
They
Is this just a one thing? Like, is this just us?
No. It's not one
Hold
thing.
on.
I do have one quick follow-up question before we move on. And this is specifically to you, Italia. Just a very simple question. Can you get very close to the mic so I can actually hear your answer? Okay. How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
Sassy.
Okay. And then over to your twin, how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
I would say just weak, like Aggie.
Okay.
Yeah, the voice don't need to. I didn't have.
Also fair.
So, I'm trying. Where did
What type
I?
of question was that?
Where did I? Oh, okay. So,
It's a dumbass meme. It's just fun to do every once in a while for no particularly good reason. There are people who have trouble engaging in hypotheticals. This meme, which by the way means nothing. There's no scientific backing. Total meme. But it is interesting many times when I engage with people who can't engage in hypotheticals. If I ask them, how would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning? What they end up saying is, but I did eat breakfast this morning, which is, that's what the meme claims
So I passed the
they
test.
would say. No, you didn't say that.
Oh, so wait, so I passed though. That means I'm not delusional?
Yes.
Oh,
well, no,
great.
no, no. It means
Thank
you can engage
No, you
in
just
a
said it. You
hypothetical.
just said it. I didn't hear you
No,
more.
no, no.
You said
no,
it.
no,
You said it.
stop.
It's okay.
It means you can engage in a hypothetical, but you're still fucking delusional. I mean, this whole take is completely delusional. It makes no sense whatsoever.
So we were talking about mid dudes thinking they're 10s.
I
What's,
feel like everyone would agree with that.
Would anyone like to chime
that a
in? Does
thing?
anyone want to chime in?
yeah.
this
So,
conversation?
so you think that that's wrong, right? You don't think that's wrong?
Shoot, I don't know.
You don't think it's wrong?
What's wrong?
If a mid guy thinks he's a 10.
I don't think that's wrong. Like, what's wrong with that?
Do you think it would indicate perhaps a lack of modesty or self-awareness?
Self-awareness? He probably thinks he's a 10 not because based off of his looks.
Okay, but it's
He's probably like,
about
oh, I'm a
looks.
10 because I got money.
Okay, it's about looks. If
I
a
don't
guy who
know.
was mid physically, and he was like, my looks, I'm a 10 out of 10 looks.
And he just has, I feel like that's just confidence.
How is it
okay,
confidence?
let's say he has abs. Let's say he's 6 foot, but let's say he has a really big nose. Why should he think that really big nose is ugly?
Hey,
Why should he think that makes him?
hey, that's mean.
How? No, I'm literally saying like people
didn't say
get
anything
nose
about
surgery
your
because they
nose.
don't like their nose. So I'm trying to use something that's insecure point in the face, which is the nose and the
Yeah.
lips. So I'm trying to use this point by saying, why should he feel like his nose is ugly because the community or society will say big noses are ugly?
Well,
So it's
because,
all about-
I
it's
can
all about
actually-
mindset,
I'll
like-
answer your question. I think it's a fair question. I think it's because beauty standards are derived from your locality and from other people.
That's
Your
fun.
perspective on beauty. So here, I'll explain. Assume for a second that you grew up in a leper colony and everybody had leprosy. If everybody had leprosy and you had nothing else to compare it to, you might consider some lepers to be beautiful. But let's assume for a second instead that you grew up in a place where there was no lepers and suddenly you saw one for the first time. Go ahead and lie to me and tell me that you wouldn't go, holy fuck, what the, oh God, that's, because
Well,
that
why
would
would
be
you
your
think
reaction.
Why would
right?
you think it's ugly? Why would you be like, oh wow, that's so interesting? Like I've never seen that before.
Because
Intriguing. It's all about
because if
perception of
for
what
the
you
same,
think of
for the same
different
reason I'm
is.
not delusional enough to believe that you for a second would go, oh, half your face was melted off and your tongue is hanging out this side and I can see your entire jaw and your eye also has been plucked out and you look like the dude from Hellraiser except missing half your face. I think that you're a 10. Come on. Really?
She didn't say that.
I didn't say
She's
that.
never
I hate that you guys
but
like.
that's why
misuse
people
things.
would say no. You don't adhere to the beauty standard. That's why they would do that.
Okay, well that's them. Like that's nothing to do with
Yeah.
us.
So people might think the guy with the big nose is mid because he has a big nose.
All right.
That's all based off society, like what you just said. It's just perception.
So going around the table, do you think you're going to be more physically attractive, better looking in 10 years' time as compared to now?
No.
Definitely.
What about 20 years' time?
Of course.
So you're 20 now.
I'm 20.
So yes to 30, yes to 40,
Yes.
50, 30 years' time.
J-Lo.
50, yes. I stop at 70 because I've seen what my family looks like if they make it to 70.
So you'll be more physically attractive at 40 than you are now at 20.
At 30, I believe I will, but I
No,
didn't
no,
say
no.
I would be more physically attractive at 40. I said I would still think I'm a 10.
Okay, so fine, you can still think you'll be a 10 at 40, but comparatively speaking, do you think you will be more physically attractive at 30 than you are now at 20?
Yes.
Okay, 40
do.
then versus 20.
40, no. I think
But
30
40 to
would
30.
be I think 30 would be the greatest one. Like that, I feel like I would like my looks most at 30. I feel like my brain and my body would be fully developed, and I would like that one.
Okay, so but not at 40 then.
I think I would still be beautiful,
That's not what
more
I'm asking.
beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Will you be more physically attractive in 10 years than you are now?
I would hope so, but
Well, you're 40 now, so will you be more physically attractive at 50?
I'm definitely a lot more attractive than when I was in my 30s.
So okay, that's another question. Are you more attractive now at 40 than you were at 30?
I feel like, yeah, because with all the surgeries that I had going on, I didn't really work. I worked out on and off, but my face has stayed the same. I think the body has fluctuated up and down, but I love my face, and like I'm seasoned more so now than I was.
Do you think you were you're more physically attractive now than you were at 20?
No, I like my body a lot more 20s.
Okay. All right. And you said in 10 years, yes to 50.
I would hope so,
What about
but-
60?
I mean, realistically, no, but I have a fear of getting old, so I'm like, I keep thinking
Sure.
in my head, I'm still 27,
Yeah.
so we'll
And also, just going back to you, you're 36. Do you think you're better looking at 26 than you are now at 36?
I feel like I had a very tacky style. No, but if I
Well,
had
the
different
style would have been
yeah.
like time appropriate 10 years ago,
right. I mean, I don't think anybody, just because of skin quality, I'm big on skin quality. Unfortunately, I don't think skin quality gets better with age.
Right.
So I think the reality is after 30, things just start changing for the
Sure.
worse.
Going